So let's delve once more, for the penultimate time, into Eden Falls, Chapter 7. You can accomplish anything.
Mm-hmm.
Met by Artie in your treehouse, Darla, you listened as he simply told you that he liked you. That he had liked you for a really, really long time. And in speaking with his future self that day, Arthur had told him that life is too short. Unsure how to take this, you nevertheless agreed to meet early the following morning, before school the next day. And after an awkward, though nevertheless sweet goodbye, you headed to bed. Drake, you woke to scratching at your cabin door, only to find a familiar German shepherd and her owner, Mr. Jenkins, stood outside, offering to walk you to the edge of Eden Forest, especially with Arpa still investigating the falls. He revealed that he lived in an old, abandoned gas station within the forest limits, and told you to look out for Darla. Arriving home, you opened the door to find your dad, Scott, making breakfast. With airspace around Eden Falls closed off after the recent plane crash, he would be home for a bit. And so, agreeing to hang out after school, you headed off to start the day. And meanwhile, Amelia, setting off on your usual paper route, you were met by Delilah Logan, who offered to assist you. Telling you she used to be a paper girl herself, she revealed another similarity between the two of you: the illness afflicting your families. Though unsure whether to believe her, she revealed that in 1912, her father Magnus had discovered an unusual shard of metal amongst the Logan oil fields, an object that would become the first of many in a large collection, as he continued to find time-displaced objects around Eden Falls. But too late, he discovered that it was destroying his body. Kept alive only through the best medicine that money could buy, it would only be a matter of time before his illness took him entirely. As it would your sister, June. Realizing that your innocuous bookmark, the shard of metal you had carried all this time, this piece of Arthur and Nico's original time machine, that it was likely the cause of your sister's illness, you listened to Delilah's plan to assist the future Nico in traveling back to his timeline, so that he might destroy the time machine before it ever turns on, and, with any luck, save June, Magnus, and by extension the entirety of Eden Falls. As this happened, Darla, waking early, you got ready for school with slightly more care and attention than you would usually. But before you left, your father, drunk and looking for his gun, broke down in front of you, saying simply that he was sorry, and that he missed them. Knowing that it would mean missing Artie, you nevertheless stayed and took care of your father. Meanwhile, at school, Amelia, you were dragged into the bathroom by Lana Stewart, who, by way of apology for the prank she pulled on you at the Falls, gave you free tickets for the Halloween dance on Monday, intimating that you should bring the others too. Drake, especially. But as you were left alone, the school started to shake as an earthquake racked the building. And as everyone evacuated, Drake, you were able to catch something. The earth between Jenkins High football pitch, shifting. Sneaking off to the Amblin Diner, you discussed the morning's developments before you were met by a stranger, an adult Nico, who introduced himself, revealing he had been in communication with his younger self, confirming Delilah's involvement and his plan to undo the damage done by his time machine. He told you that both he and your friend Nico planned to infiltrate the loop Friday night and retrieve the black box inside. Tentatively, you agreed to help, and Amelia, wanting nothing more to do with these shards of metal you had carried for so long, you gave them to Darla to dispose of. Heading home, Amelia, you spoke with your mother about your guilt over June albeit not entirely directly. Drake, you had a long held-off conversation with your father, and the responsibility you felt over your own family losses. And Darla, accompanied by Artie, you headed to the Edenfall Cemetery to bury the metal piece Amelia had given you, near a grave belonging to two you had lost almost 7 years to the day. Content, and ready for whatever the next day might bring, you headed home to prepare for the following day, unaware that you were being watched by Arthur, who, promising to the gravestone that he would protect you, pulled out a gun. But as this is all happening, at Eden Falls Hospital, Nico, you are having your arm finally, after almost an entire day, set and cast, and you now will no longer take a -1 on all body checks, but simply from force checks, so you will always -1 success. But over the course of this day, your mother and your father sat beside you. How much do you tell your parents about what has been happening?
Everything. If they don't keep secrets, then I can't either. And there's a point of Nico saying all of this that he keeps emphasizing. I'm scared to tell you this, but I'm more scared of us lying to each other. And it probably happens, like he said, probably says that like 3 times throughout this conversation.
Each time your mum nods, sort of in an shared exchange of, I understand, and for you to continue. And this explanation, mixed with your impassioned voicemail earlier on, they are listening. They do not interrupt, nor do they question. They simply listen until you have come to the end. And your mum just nods. And even your father, though clearly very much out of his depth, just kind of understands this is a conversation for you and your mum. But after you finish, he just... I'll see what they have at the vending machine. And he stands up and heads out of the room. And your mum just turns to you. Okay. It's a lot, Nico.
Yeah. But,
how are you?
kind of scared. Little confused. Mom, you have a weird job.
I do. And considering you seem to know and understand a lot more about it than I do. But if you have any questions, Nico, ask them. What do you want to know?
If this black box is from an alternate existence, does that change, do you think, what your job is going to be?
I was brought, and by extension, all of us were brought to Eden Falls. Because back in March, the Loop lost the black box, or it managed to find its way outside of the facility. A man called Robert Logan, a man, it seems that, or at least his family, you're now aware of, Somehow he had got his hands on the black box and he was using it to his own ends. He was arrested and it was brought back into the Loop's possession. But since they saw its capabilities outside of the facility, they needed a larger team. So they reached out. Governmental operatives, military backgrounds. A large handful of us were brought in, myself included, and brought under Amadi Sparrow's wing. And since I was brought on board, and since the black box was recovered from Robert Logan, my superiors have instructed Amadi and myself to double down on the research. But they are aware of the fissures opening up throughout the town. It doesn't appear to phase them, despite protestations from some of us on the team.
Should I be worried about you? I'm going to no matter what, but...
She nods and she reaches out and places a hand on your shoulder, and so long as you allow me to worry about you as well.
Yeah. So,
In answer to your question, yes. The truth is, we still have no idea where the box came from. We assume the future, but we had never considered alternate timelines before. That's new. That's very new.
but the good news is it means that anything we do now can make it better. We don't have to make the same mistakes.
So you say that there is a fissure opening up beneath Jenkins High in 2 days' time?
Yeah, and I don't think it's a small one, Mom. When, I saw that plane, and it was big, and if it's exponential, if it's big enough to open underneath Jenkins High, Eden Falls might become Edenfell.
She smiles to herself and just reaches out and touches your cheek, and so this future version of yourself.
Yeah, great hair.
You too.
He got it from his mom.
I don't doubt it. But do you think he can fix it?
He does. Well, I do. We do. He loves his family. And that was really nice, because then I feel like that won't ever go away either. That's one future that I don't want to change.
You better believe that it won't.
Yeah. He works for the Loop, Mom. And he likes it.
You can't envision that?
No, I can't. It's weird.
I mean, you know.
I don't know. Be a vigilante, but that probably doesn't pay the bills.
No, probably. But also, he probably never had to deal with time fissures and clashing realities and potential end of the...
I'm ahead of him.
You better believe you are.
Oh, cool.
So, with that big brain of yours, Nico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is the next move?
He wants to have a conversation and he might be able to fix it from the loop. And I don't know what that means, or I don't know what that means you're able to do, but I trust you, and so does he.
Well, anything I can do. If it's going to fix what is happening to this town, regardless of whether it gets in the way of what the loop is doing, I came here to solve problems, Nico. And my superiors appear blind to the harm it is causing this town. Testing this black box in their labs, and they're still not sure what it actually is. They hadn't even considered it being a battery of any kind. But, if we only have 2 days... Can you get in touch with your future self?
Yeah, I have a radio.
Okay. Where'd you want to meet then?
I have something really cool to show you.
Am I going to be excited at this, or am I going to be stern?
I'm probably excited. I've checked a lot of the legal ramifications of like squatting. So like technically by this point, like I'm allowed to be in the... I have a secret, not so secret base.
I guess that makes 2 of us then.
What?
Well, because I work in a secret underground.
Oh.
It's okay. I was just trying to make
That's
a
cool.
joke. It's
No,
fine.
no, that's good.
Shit.
I believed you. I was like,
Come on,
it was like,
come on,
there's-
smart ass. She
Yeah,
just
there's-
she takes you out of the hospital room, and signing out, you head on out into Eden Falls proper. And where are you headed, and what are you doing?
I'm taking them to the hot cave, and I'm contacting future Nico on the radio.
Okay.
I make sure I hide. Nah, Nico doesn't have any like magazines. I was like, he's weird. He doesn't even understand how people work.
So, your mum brought up the ladder into the Hawk Cave, just stares around, and your dad as well, just... So, how long have you had this place for?
How long have we lived here?
Okay.
Like 2 months after we moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you're showing them around, there is a knock on the underside of the water tower.
What?
And you see your future self looking back at you.
Okay, guys, be cool. Be cool. Okay. We're cool. Come on up.
And stepping up, stood next to you, future Nico, present Nico, both stand facing your parents.
It's like looking at a seed in a tree.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Don't do that. Just
Don't do that.
don't. And your dad just walks up to
That poor man.
your future self and just like, so this is like this is a future version of
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I look great. I aged really well. Black don't crack. That's what Mom said.
Why, you got your mom's hair.
Yeah.
And adult Nico just, yeah. And your good looks. And your dad just, I'm gonna sit down over there.
Yeah.
And just sort of semi-collapses on the bed to one side as your mum just, after a moment's pause, just brings adult Nico in for a huge hug and just holds him.
Yeah.
And he just wraps his not inconsiderable arms around her as well, and you're just faced with this very surreal image of you in the future and your mum just holding each other in stasis for around a minute before they step apart.
That's the future that Nico wants. It's the realization that all the bad still got to this good. Like the broken arm, the confusions of conversations, the misunderstandings. It's not that it was all worth it, but like it can all be okay.
And as they step apart, your mum turns to the both of you. Okay, God, this is weird. Okay. What's the plan?
Okay. And then young Nico goes and gets a whiteboard and is like, okay, do you remember what we were? And then is like basically redoing the stuff that he wrote in older Nico's office when they were at the Logans.
So, over this period, for expediency's sake, future Nico also outlines some pertinent information. He cannot speak to the current layout, nor indeed the current shift patterns of the loop facility, although they're quickly clarified and confirmed by your mum, Nico. He wants to break into the loop tomorrow night. Friday the 28th. He speaks of while he was working there would always be a large change in security on a Friday at around 10 p.m. that would last around 20 minutes, just enough time to get into the loop, retrieve the black box, and hopefully leave, undetected, if they're careful. The scientists are all home at this stage, leaving the facility on mostly a bare-bones security staff. Most of the lights are off, instead just simply on interim danger lights, and the only staff on site would be those within the military camps surrounding the facility, either security, around 20 soldiers, your mum confirms, or the families of the scientists that live on the base rather than in the town themselves. He outlines all of this before looking at you and, so, I see you already have, and he points at the layout that Arthur drew merely a day or so before.
Yep.
So, I'm interested what my big brain can plan out.
Well, there is a possibility that if we can get you inside of there and get you to the black box, I would be shocked if we didn't have some semblance of the material that you might need for a... Those wormholes are one-way doors. If we could figure out how to create those one-way doors, we could get you back and get Arthur back. Because if you go through the door and, for lack of a better word, take the handle with you, we could probably keep it locked. The handle being the box.
Well, he nods, almost about to say the same thing before you said. He nods, and then, either way, we need to get the black box out, and we need to get it to my time machine on the Logan estate. From there, it'll be delivered to the school on Sunday, and hopefully, coinciding with the fissure erupting, I can activate the time machine at the same time, travel through the fissure, close it.
Are we able to create a temporary black box that could be a replacement? Not something that's sustainable, but something that almost, it's like programming something to send out a similar signal to be honest, I feel like, no offense, Mom, most of the people at the loop wouldn't be smart enough to check. You would. That's why I said no offense.
Yeah, no offense, Mom, but he is right. I mean, in terms of lab equipment, and your mum looks between the two of you, and we're at a loss in terms of the black box. All we know is that it draws from magnetrine energy in the air, and it channels it into power. It's shut off our electrics a number of times when we've tried to test it, but in terms of recreating it, we've not even begun to come close. But what are you thinking, Nico? Why the replica?
Ooh. Ed, your captions aren't working.
Are they not? Interesting. Hello? Let me refresh them.
That's fine. Before I go on a rant.
Yes, I will. Ooh, I will.
Make sure this is documented, is what we're saying.
Yes. Is that any... That's still not working. Why is that still... Hang on, let me refresh. So, while I do that, she asks you, Nico, and honestly, I would be happy for you to talk on behalf of your adult self as well. She asks, why the replica?
The idea of the replica is just so that we have a longer amount of time before they realize it's gone. When they are trying to run tests, as long as there is something there, it doesn't mean they're going to test it all the time. They'll be checking signals and making sure there's no change, no disruption. But if there's a disruption, they'll start looking around, and one of my biggest concerns is if they start looking around too much, then they might end up putting themselves in the danger zone. It's easier to save people if they never put themselves in front of danger at all. So if we're able to send something out with a signal for at least 2 days, that is, even if it's not the exact signal, if it's something strange, it'll focus their attention, will keep the majority of the loop employees at the loop, and then by the time this handsome devil is gone and the box is gone, everything will be fixed. And, oh, actually, if we could make it so that that device disappears, it would probably solve a lot of the problems. They would think that it was gone. Then they would go into the research of where it went, which is probably research that would still push to evolution and fruition of how to find it. And
As
Mom, you'd be able to lead that.
You feel the Hawk Cave shaking all around you as an earthquake rumbles across Eden Falls.
This is a horrible place to be for an earthquake.
Before eventually subsiding. I am going to ask you to make a body check for me real quick.
You got it. This is a terrible place for an earthquake in hindsight. Oh, crap. Wait a second.
It's like a
This
minor
goes
accident.
badly. Because I still have 2 curses.
Okay, so you need
less
2
time.
successes.
That's great. That's great. I love this for me.
You got this.
Well, I need 2 successes, and it's a body
2
check.
successes. Yeah.
Cool. Can I use a bless to give myself an extra die? Is that one of the things?
Yes.
Or no? I don't remember.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so if
Let me
you
use a bless
have...
to give myself an extra die.
Oh, well, no. Whenever you roll, if you have a 5, then you can add a number to that, if that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah, so you can't get extra die through blesses at all. Correct? Cool. Well, let's see how much of a failure this is. Ooh, no successes. I'm going to use a luck point, just because. Watch this.
Okay.
1 success, but the curse takes it away.
You should only have one
So,
curse left.
So as you fall, you steady yourself on your bad arm and you just feel it give a little bit. And I'm gonna say, I'm really sorry, but once
I'm
again,
not.
it's just enough to just dislodge it ever so slightly, and the pain is palpable. And you are once again, not indefinitely, but at least for the rest of tomorrow,
Yeah.
which unfortunately is the day you will be infiltrating the loop. You are going to take a
Yep.
-1 to all body checks.
Done.
And your mum immediately rushes over to you and sort of looking at you. Are you okay, sweetie? Are you all right?
Yeah, I read that when it heals, they're stronger.
And she looks over at your dad, and your dad's like, yeah. You hang in there, kiddo.
I mean, it's
And
still gonna suck.
your adult self just looks at you and, okay. So we have a day to prepare, and from the feel of it, the fissure beneath Jenkins' eye is starting to emerge. So, Nico.
Yeah.
Do you think if I let the Logans know you're coming, do you think you might be able to get anything from my old time machine to maybe create some kind of faux black box?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Alright.
I was picking up the radio signals before, and then if I just try to recreate a similar frequency, it'll probably make them that much more interested to think that it changed. Also, with the fissure that's appearing underneath Eden Falls, is it possible that we could hijack it to help send you back?
That is what I'm hoping. If we can open it, like you said.
If we're smarter
It's a
than
work.
that.
Alright, when? And he reaches out instinctively for you and your dad's handshake.
Yeah, that's probably to give my dad a aneurysm.
Yeah, as your dad stands to go towards you and kind of help with your arm, it just immediately sits back down and just, okay, and starts nursing his forehead. And Nico looks at you, Nico, and, okay, well, I'm gonna go make preparations. Feel free to swing by tomorrow, anytime that suits. And
Can you do me a favor?
to head... Sure.
Can you make sure my friends are okay?
I'll check my cameras. And I'll try and find Arthur, too.
I'm worried. I'm worried he's not gonna try to go back. I know he doesn't have as much as Mai already has in your future.
Fairly solemn look passes over Nico's face as he looks at you, and we'll find him.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mom, Dad, well, just in case. And he walks forward and just brings them both in from massive bear hug, and in case I don't have the chance to say this again, go easy on me. And he just brings them in for a hug, and just kissing both of them on the cheek, looks at you and, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
And he climbs down the ladder, leaving you alone with your parents in the Hawk Cave.
God, I'm so glad we don't have any secrets anymore.
Your dad just fixes you with a look, and then, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's who was looking through the window.
Oh, okay, so no baseball bet needed.
Nah, I mean, I would still keep it. This city is
Okay.
weird.
Come on, honey. Let's go home. Come on. And your mum just picks your dad up and begins to guide him towards the ladder down.
I love you both a lot. And even when I'm scared,
if I know you're behind me, I can still do anything.
They both turn to look at you. We know. But just because we know a thing doesn't mean it's not good to hear.
Yeah. I don't think I would have made it this far if I didn't have parents like you. I know some people can't talk to their parents, or they are afraid to talk to their parents. But you're not just my parents. You're the ones who taught me how to be brave and how to be happy and how important it is to be able to love yourself. And I do. And sometimes I do it in silly ways, but I do.
They come over and kneel before you, and the only reason we're such good parents, Nico, is because we were blessed with you. Okay, while we're having no secrets, before having you, I was terrified. I was terrified of having a kid.
You scared?
Not of having a kid, but of being a parent. I think especially coming from a very strict military upbringing. I was scared. Maybe I'd be too soft on you, or maybe I'd be too officious, and then there you were. I was holding you, and then I was holding your hand, and then you didn't need me to hold your hand anymore, and you led me. You led me through being a mother. And your dad looks at you and, yeah, she was terrified. And your mum nudges him, and so was I. I had good parents, and I was scared of messing it up. You never gave me that opportunity.
You two taught me that even when you're scared, the important thing is that you still do it. And even if you still get scared about raising a kid, in one universe, you raised someone who built a time machine.
Just, can we all make each other a promise? We're all here now. When all of this is done, can we go back to being a normal family?
Probably not, but we can go camping.
I'd like that. No technology, fire. I'm good with fire.
Yeah, I know. We can, go fishing.
You want to go fishing?
No, but I think it would be a good bonding experience.
I agree. And your dad just pulls you in for a hug, and your mum looks at you, and I know you probably have things to do, so dinner will be ready whenever you get home, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be home soon.
You're right. This is really cool. And she gestures to their cave.
You have an open invitation whenever you want. Because this is a family secret base. And then your no, I don't want to have that conversation now.
Sorry, what was
No, I don't have it. He's just like, I don't have a
Your dad's like looking expectantly over the top of the ladder, like, what's that? And your mum goes, no, come on, leave him to it. And they head on and leave you to the Hawk Cave. So, everyone, there is a night and an entire day until you storm the loop. as Nico departs his conversation with you, Nico, and informs the others of this newly formed plan. With almost 24 hours, what are each of you doing in that time, either to prepare or to have any conversations either with one another or with anyone you think might be of help? So, let's start with... Let's go in alphabetical order. Amelia. Is there anything that you are doing before meeting everyone else?
She really sees this as the big adventure, the climax of the story, right? To actually help her sister out in this endeavor. She is essentially preparing for war on this end. She's finding flashlights, small little pocket knives, because that's her sword and her mindset, right? Bringing duct tape and wearing it as a bracelet. She is trying to gather a little bit of anything and everything that she can and stuffing it into her backpack as she saddles it over her shoulder as a final thought. She also then pulls out another book. And unlike this book compared to the rest, it doesn't actually have a title on it. In fact, it's blank. It's this beautiful kind of worn cloth burgundy with gold embroidery along the edges of it. And inside the pages is her journal. Small little notes every now and then. Not consistent. She doesn't write in it very often, but little notes every now and then. Things that she thinks would be helpful. But she flips to about halfway through the book, the most recent blank page. And instead of just the typical scribblings that she has of bullet points and ideas of potentially what it could be and depictions of what she imagined this eater to be, she kind of flips past those, almost slightly embarrassed. She writes a little note to June. And it's quite short in elements, but June, in case something happens, just know I'm doing what I can to make things right for you. So that way, hopefully by the end of this book, I won't be your villain. Short, simple, and she'll close the book and leave it right on her pillow in the middle of her bed. Almost like a small display. It looks oddly presentable because nobody leaves a pillow in the middle of their bed, but there she does. She's clearly not exactly all together. She's quite rattled by this, thinking something else needs to be done, something more that she can research, but she just keeps going over her inventory in her bag. Flashlights, pocket knife, pen, bobby pins, and just continually listing over and over as she prepares, keeping her door shut. She really doesn't want to venture out at this point.
This is another point as well. It is also a school day, so does Amelia go to school?
This time she doesn't. She made the show of actually going. She delivered the papers that morning and then snuck back in.
Okay.
Wouldn't be any point. I wouldn't focus anyway.
Okay. I'll say make a sneak check for me, please.
Okay. I can do that.
You require 2 successes.
Okay. Sneak, sneak, sneak.
You do so undetected. Your parents do not notice you, nor does the sleeping June. Darla. You wake up the following day with something of a sore throat. But what are you doing with your 24 hours?
Yeah, she would want to make it up to Artie. And even though she's not feeling the best, we'll say it's due to she's pretty sad, to today's an anniversary and not one that she ever wants to celebrate, and she probably cried throughout the night, and then eventually just seeing the sunrise and looking at the clock and realizing what time it is and wanting to finally walk Artie to school, she would get ready for the day. Same as the day before, not as happy or cheerful, but still grabbing everything before she would head out to Artie's.
So, Artie is already waiting for you outside. And you walk. And he waits. He waits in silence as you walk, understanding that today you require space and you require time. And so he just walks along with you in very comfortable silence. It is a walk that you have done before annually, and he just waits until he's needed.
With her hands in her pockets and not even looking straight forward, Artie would know, like, she just doesn't want to make eye contact with anybody that might potentially pass or have any minor conversations. But eventually she would just speak to him. Do you have a test today?
Yeah, just programming. But
You're gonna do
should be
great.
I know. Yeah, no, I will. How about you? You planning on going to classes today, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go to classes today. But it's only because I want to make sure that I stay close to you, because we still haven't seen Arthur.
Okay. You look nice, by the way.
Thank you.
Not any more or less than, but yeah.
No, it's okay to tell the truth. Don't worry.
Okay, more refined.
Thanks. That's really nice. And very, very awkwardly, she glances over and gives the most uncomfortable, like, look up and down of him. Just, you look great too. Anyway, don't answer. Don't say anything.
Okay.
We're almost to school.
Okay, and he heads on in, sneaking you the odd smile every now and again, but still keeping quiet. And once school comes to an end, is there anything that you are doing to prepare for the evening?
Before then, she would, even though she did, like, say her hellos the day before, every year she goes and she gets flowers. And specifically, they're always out of season, but there's one flower shop that always has sunflowers, which are her mom's favorite. And so she always makes sure to get sunflowers. She never knew what her sister's favorite flowers were, so she just sticks with that and assumes that it'd be the same since they were pretty similar. And she would take just this big bushel with her.
For the first year, they're already waiting for you. The florist looks at you and... No charge.
It's very kind. Thank you. And as she leaves, she would reach in her pocket and pull out like a $10 bill and put it on the table anyway. Before heading to the cemetery.
So as this is happening, Drake, are you doing anything with your day at all?
Waking up as usual, checking to see if my dad is still around, which I assume he is. since he can't
You
really do
wake
anything.
to the smell of breakfast coming from the other room.
It's good to have you here. I get good breakfast.
Yeah, no, I figured while I'm here I can work overtime. Scrambled?
Yes, please.
Okay, okay. So, what happened to plans with friends yesterday?
Things just came up and everyone had to go their separate ways to handle family stuff, I guess.
Well, it was good to have you around.
Yeah. Glad we could hang out.
So, same again tonight. I was thinking we can run a movie, or
Yeah. I really want to watch that Excalibur movie again, with Patrick Stewart and Merlin and all them. Yeah, it was fun. So I think we should watch it again.
I reckon you're probably old enough. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll. Yeah. No, I'll go down the store see if I can find any. But maybe a couple of other options. But anyway, I made you lunch. Sandwiches over there, and yeah, you got a fun day at school planned?
I mean, it's school, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay, well, hope it's good. And yeah, I was thinking continuing the Italian trend, lasagna tonight.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, I love you. I'll see you later.
Love you too. All right.
Okay.
I should get going. Thanks for the breakfast. Yeah, it's getting late, so see ya.
He just nods and watches you leave as you head to school. And is there anything that you are doing while you are there? Are you looking for any of the others? Are you making any preparations?
I'm looking for Amelia and Nico to catch up because I figure, they're bookworms. They're going to be at school, so even we have all this stuff going on, they're going to be there. And then
so
looking around and I don't see anybody.
So Amelia, you do not see, but Nico, what have you done with your day?
Nico would definitely just be going to class as normal. So if he saw Drake, he would absolutely stop and check in on Drake and see how he was doing.
Good. Hey,
Look.
how are you?
Uh,
That's a mighty cast.
yeah, it's wild. Do you want to sign it?
Sure.
Pulls
I'll
out a
draw
marker.
something for you.
Yes.
So I draw a little machine contraption, maybe a little mech, just for fun.
Drake, how is your
Macross.
heart doing?
How's
Not
my
like
heart doing?
Physically, yeah. How is your heart?
It's getting lighter, actually.
Are you scared about what's coming?
A little bit.
Yeah.
There was a nasty earthquake here yesterday.
Yeah, I felt it. I was in the cave, which is probably the worst place to be during an earthquake, because if it falls over, we might have died.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to be there. Even here, it was kind of scary, and this is just a school.
You think we're gonna be okay?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Drake, why are you so
I mean,
brave?
You can't get any worse than you already are, right?
Well, I could die.
Well,
But-
besides that, but you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
Future you is here, so
For
that's
now,
at least a little
we're gonna get him home.
comfort that you get older, at least, right?
Yeah. Well, in a different timeline.
Yeah, but
Oh, have we talked about that?
a little bit. But I mean, even if it's a different timeline, I like to think of it as faith that you're on the right path, right?
Drake, did something happen that made you have to be brave?
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess you could say that.
well. Are you comfortable relying on your friends more so you don't have to be as brave all the time?
Yeah, I think so. It's
hard.
hard, when everything's your fault, or you worry about putting things on other people, so you take everything on yourself.
Drake, I might not understand people, but I know for a fact there's no way that everything can be your fault. You might be partially responsible for some stuff, but not everything.
Not everything, but this thing. I mean, my dad says it's not my fault. My sister says it's not my fault, but it's hard to believe that sometimes,
Can I give you a word of advice?
Shoot.
If you feel guilty and responsible for something, it means you still have a conscience and a heart. The day that you stop feeling like that, you're worse off.
Okay, so I should hold on to the guilt. Yeah, you're right.
I hope that your guilt turns into self-assurance. Because you're smart, Drake. Amelia's so clever, and Darla is so intelligent, and you act like you're not, but Drake, you're so smart. Just because I know how circuits work doesn't mean I know how people work, but you do.
Yeah. You're pretty insightful, though, even though you think you're not.
That's because I learned from watching you. If nothing else, Drake, I think you're the one who talked to all of us first. If anything's your fault, it's like this weird circle of friends that I have now. Drake, you're kind of one of the reasons I have friends now.
I guess so, huh? It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm glad you're my friend, though.
Yeah, me too. Will you teach me how to play football? I don't understand it. Not now,
Sure.
but like...
Yeah.
What's
you're
a
gonna have to wait till
down?
your arm can heal so you can catch, and
Is a down related to gravity?
is sort of, I guess, yeah.
Well,
It's when the ball touches the ground, so it's gravity related.
that's why?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe sports are cool.
They're okay. I like volleyball more, but football's fun. Volleyball's fun because you get to defy gravity with the jumping and spiking and floating. I think you'd like. Plus, you can play it with less people. You can play it 2-on-2 instead of.
Oh my god,
When
we
a few
can all
people-
play.
That's true.
And then Artie could be. Isn't there like a hot person that like holds the scoreboard? It could be Artie.
Yeah, can have him walk around.
What? I'm Arthur.
Put him in a little bikini or whatever. Board shorts.
As you say this, you swear you see Artie just walking through the crowd and just sort of looks in your direction and sort of shakes his head to himself and continues on.
Actually, I need to go give Artie something.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you later then.
Yeah. See you later, friend. Wait. Oh my god, I sound like Amelia.
With friend.
Yeah.
Friend.
Friend.
It's okay. I'll see you later, friend.
See you later, friend.
I'm gonna go to the roof.
Do it. And yeah, wrap up Drake's thing. That leads into what I was gonna do anyways.
Okay.
What are you doing on the roof? Don't smoke. We're in high school. Well, this is the past.
Drake, as you head up to the roof and you look out on the horizon of Eden Falls. You take in the suburban streets beyond and the water tower in the distance. Amelia, are you doing anything else with your day?
She's now incredibly impatient. She's probably taken inventory 27 times at this point. She's pacing her room every now and then, like practicing throwing a few punches that aren't very good. She's short, so I don't know what area she'd be hitting very well effectively anyway on that end. And realizing that she's just kind of festering in this space and it's feeling cramped. She's actually going to try to sneak out. Not to school, but to the Hawk Cave.
Okay. So, I will say with your previous sneak, you managed to do so, heading on out. And you're walking for some time until eventually come to the base of the ladder of the water tower and climbing up. Can you make a comprehend check for me, please?
I can.
So with one success...
Can I use a luck to bump that?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You mean a bless, not a luck?
Yes. Yeah, I mean a bless. Yes. Correctly.
You hear footsteps coming from inside of the Hawk Cave.
She pulls out one of those pocket knives that she had found. It's school day. They should all be at school. But you're not at school, Aim, so then maybe they're not also at school. And she'll lead with the pocket knife first, going up.
As you open up the door, you see an individual pacing back and forth and tuning into the radio that they have set up to one side. As you see for the first time since the last time you were in the Hawk Cave, Arthur.
In a moment of excitement and fear, she almost kind of loses her positioning before getting into the Hawk Cave itself. Where have you been? Are you kidding me?
Hey, sorry, it's Amelia, right?
Yes! You've been here the entire time. We've been looking for you. No, you weren't here the entire time because when we came back, you weren't here because we thought you were going to be here, but nowhere to be found. And we've been trying to find you. And she's waving the entire time with her hand with this pocket knife kind of swinging it around.
Oh, wait, hey, we're okay. You can just breathe, okay? Just breathe.
Where have you been?
I went to see home. I went to see home.
You mean Artie's home? I mean, I know it's your home, but it's also not your home?
Yeah. Why are you here? I thought you were, you were at school. All of you were at school.
That is slightly embarrassed that she's been actually caught for skipping school. It's one thing for her to skip school. It's another thing for others to know that she skipped school, okay? That's a different reason entirely. I'm supposed to be here. This is our friend cave, but you stayed there a long time. I thought they went looking for you. I swore Darla went to Artie's house.
Yeah, I just, And he sits down on one side of the cave. I just needed some time with myself.
Is it scary being in a different time zone, time frame, time worlds?
It's a bit like deja vu. It's the same, but a bit different.
Right, well, because I'm here. So that kind of ruins the whole, this feels like your childhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But there seems to be other things too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, don't be coy with it. Come on, forward.
Okay. I'm used to this line of questioning from Nico, but okay. Yeah, it's strange and it's surreal to see me and
Just you?
make a charm or a lead check.
Oh, we're going to
You
go
need 2 successes. He
You're slowly coming undone. I'm excited.
he looks at you. Is it that obvious?
Well, I mean, for me, but I'm really good at reading people. Well, I'm good at reading, and then there's people, but you seem rather easier to pick up. So at this point, it's kind of obvious that you've just kind of been avoiding, like, the absolute neglect, the vacuum around the topic it draws a big red arrow to it. Honestly, this is an X marks the spot sort of thing. Oh, come on, there's nobody else here.
It's I didn't think it would be so hard seeing her again.
How long has it been since you've seen her? And she'll actually take a seat next to Arthur at this point.
Almost 30 years.
Oh. Oh, that's a much longer time frame. Can I? This might be rude. Can I ask what happened? Or was that too painful?
You're gonna need to make a lead check, 3 successes. As you can sense, he tenses up.
How many blesses do I need to increase that 1?
You would need
You need 3. Yeah, 3 blesses to
I'm
get it to
paying
3
it.
successes.
Done. Thank you. Thank you. To chat, Gator, we're getting this story.
The tension that you see just subsides in him. And there is something about you being an unknown quantity that somehow makes this space feel safe for him. His shoulders slump. And there is silence that hangs in the cave for a couple of minutes, maybe more. She's dead because of an accident. She and I are not much older than your Darla. And Artie, we'd gone to see a film at the Elliott Theatre while it was still open, and I remember it was Back to the Future.
What?
Hasn't come out yet, but it's
Oh.
it's good. It's really
It's an interesting title. Right. Sorry. No.
Oh, it's fine. And as we usually did, I walked her home, thinking the whole way, I wish I were just a little bit braver. I wish I just tell her how. Anyway, we said goodnight, and then the following morning, I saw the reports of her a gun going off by accident, and her dad. She'd surprised him, and I never got to say goodbye to my friend. Because of a stupid accident. And I don't know, I thought I was so lost for such a long time. And I thought I could. All the ways in my mind I went over, if I'd done this, if I'd done that, and then I thought, well, what if I can? And, so yeah, that's, and now I'm here, and, I have a chance. And at this he hesitates, before, for the first time, looking at you, and, you ever know you need to do a thing, and, you know it will be for the betterment of someone you love, but you don't know if you can, go through with it.
What are you thinking?
It's nothing. It's,
Arthur. No. That's heartbreaking. Well, as you know, I'm rather new still. Darla is not exactly one who's opened up about a lot. I didn't know that would even be a possibility in our lives. I feel terrible that I didn't even know. But this isn't your timeline. You have to be careful if you interfere. Did you tell Artie anything?
no, I didn't. I just told him that life's short. Life's short.
Yeah.
I waited too long before I said anything. It was too late for me to say anything, so...
So that's
And
the whole time machine thing, huh?
that's the whole time machine thing.
You know, eventually you're going to have to go back, right? Right? You can't...
Yeah, which is why I'm hoping I can do as much good here before I do.
I think that's noble and all, but But what are you thinking of doing? Arthur?
The whole point of this was to save her. To go back and stop her dad from picking up that gun.
That's still time from now. It's not like you can go today and stop that from happening.
Yeah, I can.
What do you think you're going to do? Wait around and hopefully in a couple years? Whenever this movie comes out, we should all be on alert?
I was thinking tonight.
Arthur, you're not thinking of doing something rash, right? Something terrible. You know that thing you do an
Can
action.
you make a body check, Amelia? You need 2 successes.
How I have a couple blesses left. Can I use that to bump it up?
You can. As he goes to knock you out, Amelia. And he misses as you just scoot out of the way as the butt of what you see now in his hand is a gun just come just shy of your head. What are you doing?
Survival is her first instinct at this point. She's going to duck underneath one of Nico's tables. I mean, she's still young, and this is a grown man.
Okay. You ran underneath, and he just immediately, I'm sorry, Amelia, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
just
to.
go around attacking people. What are you even going to do with that? And she'll hop over on the other side and take whatever's on Nico's table and just kind of throw it at Arthur.
Oh wow, okay, make a force or a move check, whichever you want to do. The higher, I'm gonna say a 3 is gonna knock him out, a 2 is gonna delay him, a 1 won't do much of anything at all.
Okay.
So the higher you roll, the better. You wanna re-roll that?
Yes, I will use my reroll.
Okay. You
But
throw
I
something
have one
at him.
final bless. Will that bump it up to 1 success at least?
Can't use
Not on
blesses
a
on reroll.
reroll.
Oh, that's
As-
right. You can't use it on a reroll.
He lunges forward towards you, and with 0 successes, everything goes black. Amelia. Nico. Either for the rest of school or after school, what are you going to do with the rest of your day to prepare for your raid on the loop tonight?
So Nico would want to go towards Artie when he saw him.
Okay.
And
Hey, Artie.
Oh, hey. How you doing?
Doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
And you see him glance over his shoulder through the crowd, and you see on the other side of the corridor, Darla. And he just looks back at you, and after following some very good advice, I'm doing really good. Thanks.
so it worked out well.
I didn't. Well, you know, Darla. Yeah, I think so. I don't know where it goes.
You don't have to. I mean,
Well, yeah.
we can assume.
I feel good though, like lighter.
Did you give her a letter for me?
Yeah.
I don't think that Darla and I are good at communicating face to face. And I'm not good with words. So I took time to write it down because I don't want her to keep feeling like she keeps losing friends.
And before he does so, he sort of indicates whether bodily contact is okay
Yeah. And
before
it is.
just pulling you in
Yep.
for the tightest hug that you have received outside of your mother, as
Yeah.
he just pulls you in. And you're a really good guy, Nico.
It's the trauma.
I can relate.
And so Nico hands like a letter that's like in an envelope and everything. And it's okay if you're around when she reads it. It's okay to read it over her shoulder and everything. It's not a secret. I'm breaking into the loop tonight, and it's a little scary, but I think it'll be okay. And I don't think anything will go wrong, but in case something goes wrong, I just didn't. I think everyone else would know, but I don't want her to think that we weren't friends.
Do you want me to give this to her after the loop, or?
No. You can give it to her whenever we leave school.
Do you need me tonight?
I think she does. You're in the honeymoon phase, buddy.
Stop! And he just shoves you, and then, sort of taking the envelope in hand, just waves it in your direction. And, well, if I don't see you beforehand, good luck.
Yeah. And then I got to talk to Drake. Have you seen? I think I owe Amelia an apology too, though. Have you
Yeah,
seen
I've
her?
not. No, I've not at all, actually. Maybe she's ill?
Yeah. Alrighty, I'm not used to having friends. I don't want to lose them. It's scary.
As someone who overanalyzes a lot, that feeling doesn't necessarily go away even if you have friends. Constantly worrying, what have I done to piss off this person? Why isn't this person talking to me? And
Yeah.
I think everyone has their own lives, their own worlds going on. It's, but it still feels like a blessing when those worlds are in orbit.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know, astrology was never really my thing, but...
Ooh.
Look, I'm really lucky that you into my world, Nico. Really,
Yeah,
I
me
am.
too, buddy.
And
Go get your
apparently...
not wife.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'll give this to her. But good luck tonight. Really.
And so after this, this is a very interesting thing that you did, Ed, because I already knew what I was going to do. I was giving the letter to Artie, and then I needed to go get my gauntlet for tonight. And my gauntlet is at my cave, you absolute monster. I don't want to I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the repercussions of that.
Well, we'll give you a little bit of time before you have to, as Drake up on the roof.
Yes.
You are there for a little while, until behind you, you hear the familiar sound of the fire escape door opening. And as has happened a number of times now, Mrs. Sparrow steps out, and looking at what you've used to prop it open, just... Again, Mr. Lee.
I had a feeling I'd see you up here.
Hoping we'd run into each other, or...
Not really hoping, just expecting.
How are you
I just
doing
need to
after...
clear my head, so...
Yeah. Earthquakes are never fun.
Oh yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. My dad's in town, so that's been nice.
That's wonderful. How long for?
No idea. He never tells me. I don't think he even knows. It's part of the job.
Yeah, I can relate with that. My husband, accountancy. He's out of town a lot.
Oh, accountants travel a lot.
Sometimes, yeah. Out of town clients and in-person meetings. Boulder City, New York, occasionally.
Dang, it's pretty good to have clients all over the country.
It is, and my husband is very, very good at what he does. But as a mother and as a partner, I understand the inconsistency that comes with that.
Yeah. Remember when I was young, I used to complain about dad not being home, and would tell him that he didn't have to work. Like, he could just stay home with us. And then, obviously, that's a child's wish, because can't pay bills if you don't work, right?
I don't know, as parents wish as well, some of the time. Not all of the time, but some of the time.
Yeah. By the way, have you seen Amelia today?
No.
Or is she
No.
sick?
Not as far as I'm aware. No. Why? Did you not
No
see
reason. We had a project we were working on together, and I didn't hear from her today, so I was just not worried, but wondering, I guess, where she was.
it? Well, if you want, I can chase up with Principal Hughes and see if...
No, it's fine. I'm sure she's not the kind that would just ditch to be a delinquent or anything. She's probably got a reason.
Yeah,
We all have our own stuff going on, right? So
we do. Well, Mr. Lee, I will leave you to continue clearing your mind, but
thanks. Just gonna draw a little bit and then head down, I think.
Okay. Say hi to your dad for me.
Oh.
She nods and she disappears back down the fire escape as you are left to your own devices. As Darla, Artie approaches you and he hands you a letter explaining that it is from Nico.
Is Nico still around?
Probably can see him walking away.
Okay. She would pocket it for now. Because she doesn't like people reading over her shoulder. Not that it's already, but just general public.
So, Nico, you arrive back at the Hawk Cave. And it is quiet as you move up the ladder.
As
And
it
at
should
first
be.
And at first it looks as empty and as quiet as you expect, until you see a shape on the floor. Green sweater, matching skirt. Amelia, lying unconscious on the ground.
And Nico charges over and starts shaking her. Amelia? Amelia, this is a weird place to sleep. Amelia, you have a bed.
What? No! I didn't sleep here. How did I? Nico! Nico! And she'll
Amelia.
hop up quickly and give you a hug. You're okay!
Yeah.
Kind of! Oh!
Yeah.
Oh.
Why were you asleep here?
Oh, the sleeping part. Okay, first of all, not really asleep. There's a lot of things going on. Is he here? No. Where is he? He's not here anymore, is he? He's not
it a
here.
ghost?
No. We have to get going. Do you know where Darla lives? Nico, you have to tell me. Do you know where Darla lives?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Let me catch you up on a few things. Shortcut version. Arthur. Yes.
Yeah.
Arthur was here.
Why?
I don't really know. He was just kind of in this space and he was listening to the radio, the thing that you all were, tinkering with and whatnot. And I was talking to him and we were having a very nice, honest conversation. But then it got a little too real because, we look, we see. He wasn't really addressing Darla the entire time, right? So I asked because it was a safe.
She died.
Yeah. Yes. But he wants to stop her from dying.
What?
Nico.
How did she die? I thought she
Nico.
just died because she got old or something.
No, she didn't die because she got old. She died, he said, 30 years ago for him. 30.
That's 10 years from now.
It's not 10 years from now. How old do you think he is? He's not that old.
know.
It's sooner. It's sooner rather than later, which means his Darla didn't get to live very long.
Oh.
Nico, I don't think we can tell Darla this, but apparently her dad shoots her on accident. Didn't even know. It doesn't matter right now.
Amelia, I think we have to tell her. We made
Nico,
a promise to each other. We
more
made a
importantly-
promise.
I know. Okay, fine. You're right. No, you're right. We made a promise. We have to tell her. But at this point, more importantly, at this point, he's going to stop that from happening.
What? How?
In my imagination. because
Why
he
were
didn't
you
exact-
asleep?
because he knocked me out. I tried to stop him. He was going, and from my understanding and what we looked at in this moment, I think he's going to do something to Darla's dad. Something very regrettable. I don't think Darla wants that. I don't think our Darla wants that.
It's not his choice to make.
That's what I thought, and so that's why I stopped him, and then I don't remember anything after that. I don't even know how much time has passed. Is it still at least daylight outside?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, good. All right. We need to get to Darla's, though. I know if we stop and we wait or we try to find Darla at this moment, maybe it could even be worse if she skipped school today. I don't know. Was Darla at school today?
Everyone went to school with you.
Okay. All right. So maybe she's not back at home yet, and maybe she won't see this. Wait. Never mind. That's not the
Yeah.
most important thing at
Very
this moment.
shocking. But Darla's radio might be on now.
You have to
We
contact her.
could try it. And
Yes.
Nico's gonna go to his radio right now and then be like, Arthur, Darla, Artie, Darla, are you there?
And Darla
be
is at the
received.
cemetery right now, kind of setting up the flowers and making them look all nice and whatnot. And the radio is on because she keeps it on for, normally not for anybody else other than Mr. Jenkins. But yeah, but she hears it and she looks up at Artie and she's like, you want to take that?
Yeah. Artie, coming in.
Artie?
Lancelot,
Artie?
what did we... hello?
Lancelot, this is a...
Everything. Tell them. You have to tell them everything. Tell them.
No,
It's an emergency.
It's Lancelot. As soon as possible, we need you to meet us where nightmares sleep.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
And then it's really cheesy. Nico vocalizes SOS in Morse code.
Artie just nods and immediately turns to you, Darla, and we need to go to your house now.
She
It's
would be
an
looking up
emergency.
at him.
Yeah,
I guess so.
More SOS, so we should go, I think.
All right. And she gets up, just dusts her hands off, and grabs the walkie-talkie from him. And puts it in her bag. Let's get home then.
Yeah. And then, so something else Nico would probably do is because Lancelot's name was different depending on where it was from, like Lancelot or something.
So Nico says Lanzalet is a danger.
Artie, I would say, being on a similar wavelength to you, understands this immediately and turns to you, Darla, and I think Arthur might be doing something. I don't know, it's not clear.
At my house?
I don't know. And as this is happening, Drake, whereabouts are you? What are you doing?
Completely oblivious to everything.
Living his best life.
At school. Everyone's gone.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna watch Excalibur. It's gonna be great. I will say,
probably gonna go try to check on Amelia at her house, but obviously she's not there.
I mean, there's also a decent chance that Amelia might call home, right?
Yes.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Is if Amelia calls home
Mhm.
and anyone shows up?
Yeah. I'm going to be home late. Just hanging out at my friend Darla's house. Don't stay up. Yes. Love you. Kisses.
Oh, all right. Love you too, sweetie. Do you want us to? Do you say it would be an overnight thing, or would you like us to heat up some dinner for you?
No. I'm definitely doing a sleepover at Darla's tonight. Mm-hmm.
Oh, lovely. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
painting, nails, hair, all of that.
Oh, lovely. Well, we'll see you tomorrow then, and yes, I'll set about continuing on these fairy wings for this Tinkerbell costume then.
Good luck. Don't let the glitter get everywhere.
All right, have fun, and be sure to let me know Darla's number just in case. Well, you have this as well. All right, have fun, sweetie.
Love you. And she'll
I love you
hang
too.
up.
So I will say, Drake, as you arrive at Amelia's house, you're met with her father, and he informs you, oh, no, unfortunately she's not in tonight. She's at a friend, Darla's, perhaps, you know, at school, anyway.
Yeah, we're all friends. We're all in the same, study group.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, fantastic! Well, hopefully we'll see you around here at some point soon as well. It was Drake, wasn't it?
Drake, yes. Nice to meet you, Mr. Oliver.
Yeah, well, you too, Mr. Lee, and have a safe journey. It's getting dark earlier these days.
Yeah, I'll head over there real quick. Thank you, though.
No worries. And with that, the door closes as all of you, I'm assuming, descend upon Darla's house. As this is happening, Nico, the sun setting and the nighttime air beginning to lower overhead, you hear another voice over your radio as your adult self calls through. Okay, Raven to Raven. We are almost done over here. I think I have come up with a substitute, but I'll need a little bit of help. Are we still on for tonight, 9:30? Over.
Yeah, we are. Raven. Two ravens make Odin. Thor has gone off the rails.
Raven to Raven. Understood.
Thor is not going back to Valhalla. Thor is interfering in Midgard.
Where is Thor in Midgard now, Raven?
Hold on. I got you. Thor is heading to the home of Sif.
And you do not get a response at this.
Yep.
So, I will say around 10 minutes away from Darla's house, you all begin to convene. What are you all doing? as you see one another approach from across streets in various pairs. And Drake, you're just kind of jogging along on your own.
Amelia is going to make a beeline towards Darla, and just you can see her approaching you with like her arms open, trying to give you an embrace should you want to it.
I feel like it's probably fast enough that she doesn't know how to react.
Fair.
You can just do it.
She just grabs into you. You're okay, thank goodness. Okay.
Yeah,
no, we're going to be
I'm
okay.
fine. Why are we meeting at my house?
She'll look at Nico desperately.
Arthur wants to kill your dad because in an alternate reality, your father accidentally shoots you. So he's trying to
What?
prevent that. Yeah, it's very confusing.
It's a lot. I got it out of him. He's very sad about it. He never got over the fact that you died. Sorry, I don't know what's going on now.
When
But
did I die?
you,
A few years from now.
it's not long. You die young.
You know, I suspected that would happen, but not that way.
You don't.
Sorry, that was morbid, but it doesn't even matter because I have, and she's reaching down to her canvas bag and like just holding it. I have my dad's gun, so it couldn't even happen anyway.
Don't want to
Darla-
process it.
Arthur doesn't know that. Arthur thinks he can stop your father.
By what?
Well, he didn't exactly go in, with his only two hands, okay? So,
Amelia, what's wrong with your
have-
head? She's
would
like
Amelia-
lifting up your hair. You probably see a little knot.
Would Amelia have told us that Arthur came back in time for that purpose?
yes. Yes. His
built-
motivation.
He built a time machine that I don't think was meant to be a home trip. The other Nico was very confused. Other Nico is struggling to get home. I don't think Arthur's contacted him.
At all? You mean he was
No.
meaning just to think it was only him to move forward?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's why the ship broke. Oh, also, Arthur knocked her out. I found her in the hot cave unconscious.
He attacked me!
She's gonna look up at Artie. Dang. You
no!
did that.
No, Darla,
No,
look at
it's
me.
not me.
No, I'm just saying, that's kind of
fine.
impressive. I mean, I'm sorry that happened, but
Impressive,
mind.
he's a grown man.
yeah, no, you're right.
He's
Anyway,
like 50. It's rude.
Darla, what I'm saying is, and what all of this is equating to, is that it sounds like he's willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that you stay alive.
will
something
we ever try to
drastic.
contact him? See the walkie-talkie?
He's not going to answer to us. He knocked me out when I tried to stop him. It's not like he's listening to reason right now.
Well,
We just got to knock him out and then put him through the hole when Nico goes through to go home.
Or at least make sure your dad's not here. Your dad's not home, right?
my dad's always home.
Your dad's always home. Okay, great. All right. Yes, we need to intervene. Is he already there? Amelia would like to try to peek through the window.
So you are a little ways away from the house itself. You'll need to continue moving down the street before you get a good view of it. But as you approach, can everyone make either investigate or comprehend checks for me? The amount of successes you get will determine how much you see. Okay.
So that is... It's technically 2 because I had one more curse.
Okay.
So I'll take it.
So
2.
with that, Amelia and Darla, sort of still taking in both the gun in Darla's satchel and the very large emerging bruise on Amelia's forehead, the two of you approach the house, not really taking in what lies before you, but both Drake and Nico. You see at the front door Arthur beginning to approach. And I will say with 2 successes, you see in the silhouette of the waning light of the day a handgun.
How far am I?
I would say you're probably around 20 feet away.
And does he see us? Or is
He
he
has not
focused?
seen you yet. He's making a beeline towards the front door, slowly, tentatively, and I would say with 2 successes, you would probably wager very hesitantly.
Are Drake and I coming from different sides?
Entirely up to you how you want to approach.
There are cars on the street, right?
There are, yeah.
Would it be possible for me to use the gauntlet to trigger a car alarm, like by sending an electric volt through it?
100%. Make
Because
a tinker check for me,
I
please.
I want him to look at me and like if I'm coming from the left, Drake's on the right, so I want him to look in the direction of the car alarm
Yep. And then I'm
so
gonna
that he wouldn't
charge
see
him.
Drake.
So with your gauntlet, I will say that gives you... I was going to say you need 1 less success, but with 2 successes, it just goes off wildly in the center of the street.
Amelia and I are aware of this? Like, do we need to hide?
I would say...
'Cause we're just standing in the street.
Do you want to hide, is the answer.
If I use 2 blesses to get 2 more successes, can I make them be able to hide to have 4 successes?
100%.
Let's do it.
100%.
I rolled so many 5s.
So as the alarm blares out, you all see the silhouette of Arthur, just almost in relief, step back from the door and immediately look in the direction of the car, allowing Amelia and Darla... You don't need to hide. He is suitably distracted, but what are the 2 of you, and indeed Drake, doing as Nico sets off the car alarm?
Well, Artie's with us too, right?
Go ahead. You guys go.
Artie is also with you, yeah.
I don't know yet. Drake, you go.
Okay. As soon as the alarm goes off, or as soon as I see Nico put the glove on and like reach for the car, I know what he's doing, so I start charging to tackle Arthur.
Okay, make a force or a move check. It's entirely up to you.
Yes.
You need 2 successes, assisted by the fact that he is distracted.
Cool. And I'll use a bless.
You, Darla and Amelia, and indeed Artie, watch as Drake just rushes across the front yard of your house, Darla, and tackles Arthur to the ground, and you see skittering across the pavement the handgun fly out of Arthur's hand, close towards where you stand, Darla. What is everyone doing? As underneath you, Drake, Arthur is just struggling against you.
From wherever I'm hiding, I would like to pick up that gun.
Now she's dual wielding.
And underneath you, Drake, you just hear Arthur. What are you doing? Get off me!
You attacked Amelia? And just hit him once.
Make a body check for me. I want to see if this... How hard are you trying to...
Not to knock him out, but to hurt him.
Okay, cool.
Just a regular body?
I will... regular body, depending on how much, will depend on how effective he is. I'll say with... Okay, so from now on, that will minus the amount of body checks that anyone has to make against him in future, should it come to it. So you just land a very heavy punch into him, and he just goes a little limp as you feel his struggling just subside somewhat. What is everyone doing?
I would like to approach him. I would put the other gun in her. She just had it in her pocket.
Mm-hmm.
She's not gonna say anything. She's just looking at him.
Is it getting dark out?
It is dark, yeah, by this
And
stage.
I'm gonna pull out 2 flashlights, and I'm gonna make sure that we can keep an eye on everything. We're gonna have one always focused on Arthur, and the other one I'm just gonna be trying to flip back and forth between my friends to see who's talking.
Just right
You
now.
get the occasional stop.
I don't know if we ever told Arthur that older Nico was here, did we?
You
No.
haven't. No, he has no idea.
Ha! Dummy.
Arthur sees all of you around. And I would say, especially seeing you, Amelia, he immediately realizes you all know. He lies there on the ground underneath Drake, and he just stops struggling as he looks at you, Darla. I didn't want it. I didn't want it like this. But I can. I don't have a machine I can use now. This is my best bet. Darla, I didn't want it to be this way. I wanted to make sure that there was no gun in the safe. I wanted to go back.
I have it.
Darla, I wanted to go back and make sure that I wanted to give you your life back. I could go back. I could make sure. I could make sure the car crash never happened. I could have given. Darla, I just wanted...
She just looks at Drake and let him go. He's fine.
I get off him.
You know, you look like... And she looks up at Artie and then back at him. My Artie. And I get that you mean well in doing this, or wanting to do this. But if you really cared about me, you wouldn't have even thought to do it on this day.
I just didn't know what to do without you.
Nothing. You've already seen that it's different. So who's to say it would turn out the same? And even if it does, you can't control that.
Can you make a lead check for me, please?
I can certainly try.
I believe in you.
That's a 0.
Oh, because of curses?
Yeah, I got 3 more
all
too.
the curses.
I have 6 to go through.
No, what? Oh no.
Someone said I want to see it happen.
He just looks up at you and he just shakes his head and I can't accept. I can't.
You don't get to make the decisions on what happens in my timeline. We need to send you back.
Sam, can I say something? Sam, can I say something? Nico says, if you won't listen to us, listen to your boss. And I want to like point over his shoulder if older Nico's walking up.
And out of the shadows
Ah, like a film.
comes Nico. And stepping forward, you see a look of shock and then shame and immediate regret as Arthur just begins to collapse under the weight not only of seeing a face he did not expect, but also the look of abject disappointment on adult Nico's face. You know, Arthur, I always knew but I didn't think it would come to this. They're right. We need to go home. And that starts tonight. And Arthur looks around at all of you. And then to you, Darla. How can I make this better?
She reaches into her pocket and hands him his gun. By joining us.
And we're going to take a break there. We'll be back in 5 or 10, depending on how thirsty we're feeling.
Yep, we'll be back in just a bit, so go stretch, go get some water, do the things you need to do, and we're gonna infiltrate the loop. BRB.
So, I am assuming departing Darla's house and making your way towards Eden Forest. What are any pertinent conversations that anyone is having before eventually reaching your destination of the loop?
Darla, do you always carry a gun?
No. Honestly, it's very rare that I carry a gun. I just have it so it's not within reach of my dad. For other reasons.
Are you safe at home?
Yeah.
You know, you could always come and stay with us. There's a lot of books.
I don't read much.
I could read them to you. That sounds
That's
really late,
very-
doesn't that? Okay.
No, that's really nice,
No,
Amelia. No, I feel fine at home. It's just a work in progress. Every day.
I'm sorry I never asked. I guess I just assumed everything was good.
No, don't worry about it. I wouldn't have answered you before. So, it's okay. And to be fair, I never ask anything about y'all either. My bad.
Right, well, as Nico says, we're telling everyone everything at this point. Maybe
Darla
we'll
has
learn a
not
little
made
more.
eye contact with Nico.
He knows. He's not trying.
Speaking of Nico, is there anything that you are doing on your walk, either as prep or with anyone present?
So I was telling Amelia that I'm going with my older self to break into the loop to take the black box because we need to send everyone home. And then if we send everyone home, Nico and I figured out that we can probably stop everything from falling apart the way that it is, although these are separate timelines, which is a very weird thing. And I wrote it all down because I don't think that I can vocalize it properly. But if I give you a reedy thingy, it might make more sense. And also I talked to my parents and they're okay and they believe me, although I think my dad almost had an aneurysm. And my arm's going to be way stronger now because it broke, but then it'll be stronger because it heals. And my mom doesn't think I have a crush on you anymore, Amelia. She understands that we're like just sincerely friends, and I got her to stop being weird about any friends that I have. which is good.
All of your friends? Wait. How did you tell her all of this? That's really impressive.
I said, Mom, I don't want to lie anymore. Here's everything that happened to me in the last 48 hours.
It's probably the best way to do things. We should probably start doing things like that, right? In our friend group?
Probably. It's weird. We're kids. We're not good at communication. That's not why we're bad at communication, but it's another aspect of it.
As you say this, adult Nico looks from Arthur to all of you, and trust me, the fact you're kids, nothing to do with it, and continues walking.
Yeah. There was also a part of me that wanted to go into the loop and not come back, but I don't feel that way anymore.
Well, good. I don't really want you to go.
I
don't think any of us do.
Because I didn't want to be here anymore, because I was sad, and this place was sad and scary.
Well.
But it's okay to be sad and scared. Ugh.
It'd be much sadder and scarier without you. Also, I have a confession because I did lie today.
About what?
Well, I told my dad I was staying at Darla's. Darla, we're doing a sleepover tonight.
Look, we don't lie to each other, and I just don't lie to my parents. You can lie to whoever else you want to. I don't care. You're like almost adults, technically. Look, we're in a new timeline. We can do anything we want. Apparently, we didn't know each other before. That's
right.
That means Nico and Arthur never got to have a third best friend.
How come I'm never in any of your futures at all? I never moved over at all.
Well,
I lived here, and I'm not in anyone's future either. So
there has to be an ideal future, right? We're in it.
Right. All of us.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, all of us.
Wait, when did this happen? And she'll point to your cast. That's really good. Drake, did you do this on his arm?
Oh, yeah, earlier at school, when you weren't there. So
okay, no one. This stays between us. I was getting ready for things.
In my secret base?
Okay, partially that, yes, but also I brought 2 flashlights. I've got a bunch of mechanical pencils. I've got some notebook paper, and I also have some bobby pins for lockpicking because I thought that might be helpful. And I don't know, random little objects and magnets and things that I had around my house that I thought could possibly be helpful. And I also practiced punching today.
You know how to pick a lock?
Oh.
No, but I could try.
I can teach you how to punch, but also I'm glad you brought a lot of stuff because I never got to go home and actually pack anything. So I don't know how much I'm going to help in this trip.
Here, and she's going to give you a peanut butter jelly sandwich at least.
Oh, thanks.
It's almost identical to the one your father gave you.
I have.
Oh, if you want another one, Darla's reaching in her bag from the one you gave her the night before.
Days old.
I have this one.
Okay, I'll carry all the food.
And then Nico, Artie has I'm sure Artie has like clocked that Nico and Darla haven't interacted. But Nico would definitely look at Artie and be like, "It's okay." Like the nod that like it's okay.
You catch Artie's eye, and it takes a moment actually for him to notice you because you see that his eyes are trained
on Arthur.
Angrily on Arthur. And he catches you and sort of breaks this almost immediately in a very Artie-like manner as he just nods at you before immediately looking back at Arthur. His eyes are not leaving him.
Yeah. And then the last thing Nico does is he subtly turns up the voltage to max on the thingy.
Okay.
Just in case.
Are you trying to conceal this from anyone, or is this?
He's not really trying to conceal it, but I don't know if they would understand.
Okay.
All the big.
He goes just like,
make a big show of it.
You said doing a whole Power Rangers suit up moment, and we're just waiting for you to be done.
I'm gonna be like, that thing is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
what you did before, like,
wow,
thanks.
Yeah. Also, did y'all like? Oh my God, Drake, you missed it. I was so good with code words. I was like, Arthur might be listening, so I have to say fancy, weird things. And I was like, he's Raven and I'm Raven, and two ravens make Odin. But Odin had Thor under him, which was Arthur. And then I knew that Thor was in love with Sif. I'm not going to explain that part anymore, but yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. Good job.
Thanks.
And as this conversation begins to come to an end, you hear in the distance the soft thrum of the cooling towers of the loop as you slowly begin to crest the hill through the trees as the loop comes into view. You see a dirt path leading up to a windowed checkpoint next to a gate large enough for vans to pass through, its barrier down. And reaching out from this on either side, you see a large chain-link fence stretching in a giant octagon around the military base on its interior. Large floodlights facing inwards. The base itself is meticulously laid out and purpose-built, several dozen identical rectangular single-story buildings lined up in neat rows, most of which you imagine, and from those of you who have had military experience with family, serve as homes for majority of the personnel here. And here and there, outdoor chairs and tables are laid out between buildings, and simple paths carve straight lines throughout the facility. And looming above this, huge and domineering, emitting an ever-present soft hum, you see the 3 cooling towers of the loop. Smooth-surfaced concrete pillars that grow ever more shadowed as they reach away from the lights below, each ending in a softly and slowly oscillating strip of neon light, moving in time to the hum that you hear, like an almighty, ominous heartbeat. And at the base of these 3 towers, between each of them, almost inconspicuous by comparison, you see a small, concrete, cube-like bunker. Flat-roofed, no windows, there is just a set of 3 bollards outside the double doors at its front. And I would say beside this, from the very rough blueprints that you have, Nico, you would see that next to this door that serves as the entrance to the labs below, you see a small, shining pad, which is used to scan in to the facility. This is what you see from a distance, hidden in the shadows of Eden Forest.
So what's the plan?
Okay. We go through during the shift change. We get the black box.
How do you know where it is?
She asked, "How do I know where? Do we know where it is?"
So I believe it was Nico who mentioned that it would be in the central lab.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. It should be in the central lab. And it should be easy enough to get to. And like we talked about it, Ed. Could I roll something retroactively for like just some sort of temporary replacement, because that was the plan.
So yeah, I will say make a tinker check for me. And we don't really have an equivalent of advantage on this, but I will say 3 successes becomes 2 successes just because of adult Nico. Don't need it. As I would say that between you and Nico.
Yeah. Especially because I talked to him about it, and if he might, maybe he brought it with him when we went to go do the Arthur thing, potentially. There's some combination of it.
So as you look to adult Nico, preempting this, already holding out in his hand, you see what looks to be a small, kind of like a radio emitter. And you can see that on its surface there are a number of miniature magnetrine discs, not dissimilar to those that would usually lift much larger in scale, obviously, but airborne vehicles. And bringing it out in front of you, he says, the black box itself is a shell. The mechanics of it lie inside. I can replace the mechanics with this. It should last for 2 days or so. Enough for them not to know that it's missing, like you said.
So we replace that in the time that we can get in and get out. None of them should be any the wiser. They shouldn't get in our way, and we can keep them out of trouble. And we take this back to the area near the Logans. We fix the time machine, and then in conjunction, also hopefully fix the incoming fissure, or at least utilize it to get these two back home and stop Eden Falls from crumbling.
Wait, with the Logans, besides, of course, going back to the property and getting them to travel back, what about the Logans themselves?
I don't know if Gabe say what Nico wanted to say, but Nico's like, F him.
Adult Nico looks at you, Nico, and kind of gives a bit of a wry smile, and not in so many words, but look, they don't want to travel anywhere. They just want to help me travel back, or rather, forward. They're only going to help me, in theory.
Okay. Right. Just because, like, when you leave, that rich family, if they're not happy, still knows us.
They don't know me.
Well, I'm glad you'll be safe.
No, I meant like I can keep an eye on them.
Oh, right. But they know Drake and I. And technically, they know we have stuff of theirs. We could be in a lot of trouble.
That won't
It's
happen.
okay. I think I can handle Delilah.
Mm.
Darla looks at you. What does that mean?
She's a cougar.
No, we have a
What does that
rapport-ish
mean?
sort of thing, and she said not to worry about me stealing her sword, so it should be okay, right?
Oh, I said that as a joke. She's a wow.
Yeah. She's
Whoa, what? Drake, no. Oh, spicy. He's so cool.
no.
As
Okay.
this is happening, Darla, Artie just taps on your shoulder and indicates to just, he wants a word.
Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you said taps on your shoulder, and then when she looks, he's on the other side. So many people did that to me at TwitchCon this weekend.
Artie's feeling a fun mood today.
Okay, sorry about that. She would just nod and follow.
As you approach, you can see his eyes have not left Arthur, and he looks at you and, look, I don't know what the plan is, but I can stay here. I can keep an eye on him if you need.
Do you think he's not gonna want to come with us?
I know what I would do, but I don't know what he would do. Look, it's up to you. If you need someone, I can stay out here as a lookout. If you need, I can have one of your radios. I can let them know if anyone's coming into the facility after all of you. I don't trust him.
She's gonna reach down and grab his hand. And then look at him and... Are you okay? I know this is not ideal.
I hope you know, Darla. I've said a lot of stuff about your dad in the past, but
I mean, so have I. Don't worry, I already told you that Arthur's not you. You just look alike.
But I would never. I hope you know. I wouldn't presume ever.
I guess thank you.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to...
I mean,
If you're
obviously talk to
comfortable.
everyone else.
Sticking with him. Or at least
Talk,
close by.
talk to the others, see if he can be helpful to you, but I just want to be somewhere I can keep an eye on him.
And she's gonna let go of his hand and reach into her bag. She's gonna pull out that revolver. If that's the case, then you should have this. Just in case. I
He
don't know
nods at you.
what could happen, but I don't want to take that chance.
He just conceals it on his person, underneath his jacket, and nods. Okay. Good luck, by the way.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll be fine. I'm just worried about you. Always. She gives
He
him a big
nods
hug. And like,
he hugs back.
yeah, he can feel like her grip on his back. And just a big hug. And then like that little comforting rub before she lets go. Okay, well, time to go be a bunch of hooligans.
Okay. Go make plans and do all the things I wouldn't do.
Yeah. For now. Things are changing, Arthur. And she leads back that way.
So, what is the plan?
I'm assuming
That's
we're
the
not
question.
storming the place. Yeah.
I'm breaking into the loop. I know they were coming. I wasn't going to expect them to, but I'm breaking in there. Me, myself, and everybody else.
So, I will, first of all, how are you getting to the entrance? That will be the first step. Secondly, how are you getting in to the entrance? Thirdly, what are you doing once you are inside?
Well, between Nico and I think Nico's understanding of the login system, and then like I assume that this is the assumption. I assume that the like names and records have like usernames and codes attached to them, either historically, so everyone gets a new one, or it like cycles through. So if there's like an admin is always 11894 and like blah blah blah. So I think Nico, if Nico knew that his was adopted from someone else whose job he took, we would try to use that same, like regardless of who it is. If it's Sparrow can get ducked. And then if not, like historically, what some of the retired ones would have been in the future. If they were retired, they were probably used now. So like getting to the pad and then like using pliers, open it, get in, da 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 da.
Okay. So, if that is your approach to enter, who is doing what? Who is going with? Who is on lookout? Who is helping enter?
I wanna break in because my iconic item is pliers, and I realize I haven't used those at all.
Okay. So, as Nico pulls out a pair of pliers, and adult Nico just sort of nods and just, yeah, I remember those, and begins to head off. Drake, Darla, and Amelia, what are all of you doing?
I'm assuming I'll take watch.
So older Nico is traveling with your Nico. In
Okay.
terms of Arthur, it is entirely up to you where Arthur goes, where Arthur stays.
That's you, boss lady.
Go ahead, Drake. Sorry.
Oh, just I will be probably doing lookout, and then if need be, distraction.
Okay, so
'Cause that
Drake is
seems to be
staying
my role.
behind. Okay. Amelia, are you going or are you staying?
Going. I'd like to actually fashion one of the small, like little tiny handheld flashlights into one of the buns that I have. So it's I don't have a headlamp piece. That wouldn't be something she'd just have in her house, but she's gonna at least like stick it in so that way it's hands free at that point.
Okay. And Darla.
Mm. I don't know. Because, like, do I have Artie and Arthur that I have to deal with?
So Artie is staying, Drake is staying.
Okay.
It is up to you what happens with Arthur.
Alright, she'll approach Arthur. Hey, do you know where this black box is? Or where it could be?
I imagine in the central lab. Your friends seem to have a fairly good idea as to where they're headed.
You mean where
said
we're
I
headed?
could... Okay. You want me with you?
You're with me.
Okay. And he turns first to Artie, and then to you, Drake, and... Well, at least you got me back for punching you.
You deserved it. But, yeah.
And he turns to you, Darla, and... Okay, lead the way.
Alright. She's gonna look at Artie and just like give a nod of like, it's okay. I got this.
Okay.
Am I going the same place as Nico, or did we want to go in from different locations?
Entirely up to you.
And then she's gonna ask Arthur, you know this building, right? So you lead the way.
I mean, he nods, and I would say, considering there is only one entrance to the loop, he is going to follow the others, who are currently being led by Nico towards the outer fences of this facility. So, Drake, comprehend check. Amelia, Darla, and Nico, sneak checks. And you need an accumulated result of 5 successes.
Maybe you shouldn't have put Drake on watch, because he's pretty dumb.
Ooh, Nico ain't a sneaker. I'm gonna use a luck point and re-roll. 1.
Oh.
I'll take it. That's better.
I will also use a luck.
Okay.
We're doing great.
Oh.
I will also
lied.
use
So-
a luck. Hang on. It's a good thing that's a 0.
So
We got 4.
I got 1 finally.
No, we got 2 because my 2 don't count.
We're
Oh
so
my
good
God.
at this.
Okay, so
Maybe.
we'll see how this plays out, because Drake, I will say with 1 success, you are able to follow their progress. Watching them move further and further into the darkness as they approach the edge of the chain link fence. And bringing out your pliers, being your iconic item, your iconic item gives you an additional die, I believe it is. So,
Mine says
Nico.
+2. So what is that? Is
plus
that
2.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, if you can make any check that you would like to, adding your iconic item to cut through the fence.
Pinker, baby. No way. 2 successes.
2 successes.
So many 5s.
You begin to cut your way through. And I will say, as you do so, given the lack of stealth, the chains begin to, or the metal begins to clink against itself. And Drake, from where you are, you see a soldier stepping out of their abode, just dressed down, not armed at all, but sort of stepping out for a cigarette break, suddenly look in the direction of the fence and begin slowly, casually, to walk over in its direction. Are you doing anything to warn your friends or distract them?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna pick up a rock and throw it way to the other side so that the guard can turn around.
Okay. Make, in that case, a lead check for me. And I will say you need to make up the difference
So
of their
5.
sneak. So you will only need you will need 3 successes.
You can do it. Carry us.
Do you have any blesses?
I think I have 1, so we got 2 successes.
2 successes.
Can I give you 1 bless?
Yeah. I would need 2 blesses though to get another 6.
No.
Quick chat. We'd vamp and then bribe Ed.
Someone.
Vamp.
So-
and you-
I will
could
say
reroll.
well, you can re-roll if you would like to, but you wouldn't be able to use any blesses.
Yeah, maybe
So
worse.
are you sticking with 2 successes?
Yeah, I'll stay with 2.
2. I will say this buys your friends a moment of time as the rock flies through the night air, clattering against one of the nearby buildings, and you see the soldier just turn and begin to walk off in the direction of where the sound came from. The rest of you, Nico, you finish cutting through the fence, and you now see, just off in the distance, the soldier perilously close to you. What are you all doing?
Now or never.
Go, 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 go.
Nico's going for it.
Okay.
Darla's going to be
So-
at the end and make sure Arthur's in front of her. Eyes on him.
Okay, so I will say all of you make a move check. And I'm really sorry, Nico, but given your arm, you are taking a -1 to everybody check
Yeah,
that you are making.
that's fine.
So,
I don't need that.
so accumulated success of 4. Okay, we have 1.
Ed really trying to get us dead.
No such thing. I really want you to succeed.
Damn, I'm gonna have to kill a guard. That's gonna change my future for real.
We might have other options.
Sounds like Darla's future. Don't worry.
She got the gun. Yeah, Arthur got
No,
the
she
blicky.
doesn't.
Oh, Arthur got
Artie's
it.
got
Ooh,
it.
that's worse. Artie, nah. Why would you give him that?
Yeah,
Loose
I trust
cannon.
him.
This is fine. This is fine.
I trust him
Okay.
to. I trust him to protect you.
She's handing out guns to Artie's.
So, as you move towards the entrance towards the loop facility itself, sneaking past the raised rectangular buildings that you can see next to you, you see the guard beginning, now no longer distracted by the rock that Drake threw, begin to move back towards the fence. And he begins to turn in your direction, and seeing that if this isn't prevented, you will be noticed, Nico, your adult counterpart, turns towards you. All right, you know what to do. I'm going to cause a distraction. And he immediately just books it away from you and starts running in between the buildings and clattering one of the nearby chairs and tables that sit outside one of the buildings. You see it just fall down to the ground, distracting the guard as he turns away from all of you. You are now without adult Nico. What are you doing?
Charging ahead. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Following along. And
Yeah.
probably like pushing Arthur a little bit if he like hesitates. Go.
Okay. So all of you move forward. Drake, from where you stand, looking at the facility, you can see that personnel is low on the ground. You can see a number of soldiers beginning to congregate at the entrance to the gate rather than the facility itself in the center. You can see that they are changing over, that many of them are just stopping and having a cigarette break, some are in conversation with one another. You also see that there is a van approaching up the dirt path. It is around a 5-minute drive away, but it is going to be approaching the gate to the loop facility very, very soon. You also see your friends sneaking through the shadows towards the entrance of the laboratories.
Well, crap. I
Nico.
should have taken a walkie.
This went badly so fast.
So Nico, Arthur, Amelia, and Darla,
Yeah.
you approach the concrete bunker that sits in the center of the 3 cooling towers. Outside, 3 bollards. On the entrance of the building, double doors. And next to this, Nico, the pin pad. What are you all doing?
Okay.
Do you need help here? And she'll pull out some bobby pins to offer them to you, as well as a mechanical pencil with a lot of lead.
Actually, this might work.
Right?
Like trying to pull the cover of the pad off and then like recircuit the wires with using the bobby pins to like basically pass partial information along to see if that's enough to be like, okay, this is like, it's basically trying to like checking to see if it's a confirmation, but like using the bobby pins to lower the circuit so that it can't actually check, and instead is just like receiving confirmed input kind of thing. And so he's just trying to rewire it and then input what he thinks and what he talked with older Nico's login information would be.
Okay, so if you can make a tinker, program, or calculate, I will leave the ball entirely in your court.
That's Tinker. I ain't doing anything else. 1 success.
Okay.
We're not doing great, y'all. How? What happened?
I will say with 1 success.
Nope. You just got cursed, Nico.
But I rolled already.
No, it was just as you did it. Actually, it was
rolled-
before you did it. I just wasn't fast enough to come off mute.
That says in our incentives, that ain't my name.
Because I can't type that quick.
I am going to be kind, I'm going to delay that curse until
Okay.
the next roll.
Yeah. That
But
says justice.
Here you go, Dono.
But-
You gotta be faster.
That ain't gay.
But with a 1, I would say that you realize that you are going to have to manually override this. It is not going to be as simple as you thought. It is going to take you a little bit more time that will leave you open to being discovered. So, I am going to ask you, Nico, to make another tinker check for me,
Yeah, with a curse.
and Darla and Amelia, I'm going to ask you both to make sneak checks. Between your sneak checks and your tinker check, you need 4 successes.
Okay.
We're doing sneak.
I'm gonna use a luck and
2.
roll.
2. Yes.
Okay, so that's 1.
Okay.
Just-
So just a sneak roll from you, Darla. You only need 1 success.
Wow.
Too bad. That's a 0. So
Wait,
let me do a reroll. Give me a second, because that takes away all my curses. Suckers.
I have one less. Because I wasn't able to give it to
Nah,
Justice
save that.
for-
Let me try to do something good.
Oh, so does
I'm just kidding. You should have used it. Why'd you let me do that?
Why?
does a curse
We were riding the
does a
high.
curse only count for the first one, not the reroll?
No, it counts for rerolls too.
Okay.
So
So
you
if
had
you were,
2. So you had, yeah, you were right. You had that one.
oh, when did I have 2? I had one a second ago.
Look at the incentives thing. They gave it right as soon as you said no. Oh wait, another one just came through. Who's this?
Well, so
one
because
for?
that I'm trying to count. So okay, so if I made my first roll
me?
and then I made a reroll, does a curse count for just the first one initially?
So you expend it on the first roll, and
Yes.
then anything that's left over, I guess, would carry over to a second, to a
Okay,
reroll.
that's
Is
what I was trying
yeah.
to understand.
Gotcha.
So I will say,
So then that's 3 total between us.
so with 3 out of 4 successes, Nico, I will say, you managed to spark something within the wiring, and the doors begin to open. And as they do so, you see inside a very simple grey concrete room. Very, very large. Sort of, you would say probably the size of around 50 people would be able to fit in here.
Mhm.
And on the wall on the other side, there is nothing else in this room except for these 2 doors. 2 elevator doors stood side by side on the opposite wall. But as the double doors in front of you open, you hear a shout from one of the buildings. Hey! 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 And you turn around and you see that you have all been noticed. What are you all doing? As you can see a soldier begin to come round the corner, and seeing you all by the now open double doors at the loop facility itself.
Darla's gonna shove Arthur and be like, say something.
And what are the rest of you doing?
I would like to put on my best student face where I look very innocent.
Okay.
I'm gonna hide all of my little objects and items inside my bag and shove my bag behind me.
Okay. And Nico, what are you doing?
On the pad. Screw it. I hate everything. This is going so badly.
So you're gauntleting the pad?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
I turned it all the way up.
Okay, cool. So before any of that resolves itself, Nico,
Mhm.
make whatever check you want to. And bear in mind that this gauntlet, I seem to remember last time we said that this would give you a +1 success to anything that you rolled.
Cool. So that is 1 success. If I got a +1, because there was also a curse, so that would negate 1. So that is 1 success then.
1 success. Okay, so I would say at this point, shoving your hand into the pin pad that sits next to these open double doors through which you can see the elevator doors that lead down to the labs themselves, like within a quick sprint's reach. As you push your hand into the pin pad, a shock of electricity pulses through the system, and you can see the lights directly surrounding the bunker that you were stood outside, the entrance to the loop itself, begin to flicker in and out before going dark momentarily. You don't know for how long, but you have a moment of darkness with which to act. And I'm going to give you 10 seconds of real time to tell me what you are doing. So, 10.
I get to wherever I need to be for this facility, and I trust my friends, and I, for lack of a better word, leave them behind.
So you're running towards the elevator doors.
Yep.
Okay, Darla and Amelia, I'm going to give you the same 10 seconds. Darla.
Sorry, I need to. I don't know what I'm doing. She's probably just trying to hide, honestly. She's not thinking about running.
Make a sneak check for me, and
Yeah, of
Amelia,
course.
you see Nico running towards the elevator doors inside this bunker that leads to the entrance of the loop facility. What are you doing?
In this darkness, I'm gonna just swing my bag to try to hit him between the legs, and then I'd also like to hide behind the door frame inside the bunker.
So you're trying... Okay, lovely. So, can you make a force check for me to see if you can knock this soldier off balance? And I'm going to say you need 2 successes because Arthur is going to help you.
I only have 1. I'm too far away for my bless to bump it up. I guess I'll re-roll and see if I can get the 2. I did not. Rerolls have never been successful for me. I am never trusting them again. I think that's all of my rerolls I have too.
So, Darla, you manage to duck behind the bunker itself out of sight as you see both Arthur and Amelia go for this soldier. And unfortunately, Amelia, you are knocked to the ground, and I'm going to say that you take a condition. You are injured as the soldier just points a rifle in Arthur's direction, being the adult, and hands on the ground! Hands on the ground! Nico, as you run towards the elevator, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to take the elevator down to where I need to be.
Okay.
I'm gonna get this black box, and I'm gonna get other Nico home. And if everyone else has to get out, that's okay. I'll make it back. So Ed, worst to worst, if things go really bad, Nico's understanding is, well, if it can make gateways to the past and the future, couldn't it make gateway to the present just somewhere else? His last resort is he's going to try to Doctor Strange out of the loop facility with the black box.
I'm also aware that we've just reached a supernatural event.
Great.
So as this is all happening, and Nico, as you reach the doors of the elevator and you press the doors to open, suddenly, all around, from deep below the facility itself, there is a rumble. Not unakin to that which everyone felt within Jenkins High just yesterday. Something tearing itself apart. It is loud. It is echoing through the ground itself and up through the cooling towers. It is cacophonous. I need everyone to make just body checks, straight body checks for me, and that includes yourself, Drake.
Disrespectful, dude. Why would you?
Since I'm injured, do I get a -1 to this?
You would, yes.
Okay. Yay.
3 successes.
Okay. So, I will say that everyone who rolled less than 2 takes a condition, whichever condition that you would like to. However, this doesn't just affect all of you. You watch as the soldier in front of you, Amelia, just begins to collapse to the ground from the sheer force of the rumbling that is emanating throughout this facility. You could see that the buildings, the homes in which many of the staff and personnel here live, just begin to shake, and you could see a number of them come off their struts and fall down to the ground. All of you, Darla, Amelia, and Nico, and even Arthur, you have an ability, even with your current conditions, to move and do whatever it is you would like to. Nico, the elevator opens to you. You can see that inside there is a white space. It is clear there are only 3 buttons inside. One to go up, one to go down, and a red button in its center, an emergency stop. You see this. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I'd like to actually go to the soldier, help pick him up at that moment. Come on, we've got to get everybody out of here. And I'd like to try to pull him towards the housing space.
Okay, I'm going to need you to make a lead check for me to see if this works on him. Darla, what are you doing? You can see Amelia trying to lead the soldier away. You can see Arthur picking himself up off the ground, and you can see Nico inside about to enter the loop facility.
Also, he literally just donated for Janice.
She comes in to save the day.
So, I don't know.
Somewhere...
What's Janice doing?
Well, somewhere across town, Janice is sat, watching her shows, and then the image begins to go static. And she heads over to it, banging the top of the TV, and... Why does this always happen during my shows? And she's just slamming the side and... God damn, at this rate, I'll never know how Magnum P.I. ends. And then she moves over to her landline, picking it up, and she dials her sister. Hello? Yes? Give me a play-by-play, as her sister begins to describe the episode down the phone to her. Hard cut back to you, Darla. What are you doing?
Yeah, sorry, I was distracted. What is everybody else doing right now?
So Nico is literally about to go into... He is about to descend the elevator into the loop facility itself. Amelia is helping a soldier to his feet, and Arthur is at a loose end. What are you doing, Darla?
Is there anybody else around us besides this
No,
one soldier?
that is it. That is it. You can see that there is chaos as the ground is still shaking underneath you, and you can see soldiers panicking within the actual facility itself. What are you doing? 10 seconds. 10. 9.
She's going to run at the elevator with Nico. Going
Okay.
right, jumping over to Arthur.
So is Arthur coming with you?
I don't know if he's fast enough.
Okay, he's running after you. As Nico, you see Darla and Arthur running towards the elevator with you. Where are you going?
Down the center.
Okay. All three of you slam into the elevator as the doors close behind you, and you head on down, the rumbling all around, echoing through the shaft. Amelia, what did you roll for lead?
I'm going to use one of my blesses to bump that up to at least 1 success.
The soldier, looking all around and disoriented, just looks at you and, rather than allowing you to lead him, just sort of takes you quite firmly by the shoulder, and seeing that there is something happening to the facility, he looks in your direction and, okay, yeah, we need to get you out, and he just
The
forces
families
you...
here, right? The families!
He is not listening, he is forcing you towards the entrance. Drake, you see all of this from afar. What are you doing?
I'm going to run to wherever they're leading towards to get Amelia and pull her out of there.
Okay, it's going to take you some time to do that.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're doing on the way?
I guess not. There's not much for me to do out here.
Okay.
I guess looking around to make sure that van's not there yet.
It's not yet. It is closer, but it is not there yet. And you see that it has stopped a little bit in hesitation from the rumbling that is slowly, very slowly, beginning to subside as inside the loop itself, Nico and Darla, the doors open, and you are met with spotless, quiet, white corridors stretching in every direction. The overhead lights are dim and flickering. Long strips of halogen bulbs, quiet and near non-existent, while lining the length of each corridor, soft orange hazard lighting illuminates the grey concrete floor beneath your feet, which are marked with directional stripes. One red, one yellow, and one green. Nico, you would know that red leads to R&D, yellow leads to the central lab, and green leads to biological sciences.
Where do we go from here?
Was the box in the central lab?
That is what you have been told.
Yeah, and that was yellow, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We follow the yellow line. That should get us to the central lab. That's where the black box should be.
Okay, and she's gonna look up at Arthur, like, as a confirmation.
Arthur just... In our time? Yeah, that's where it is. Let's go.
Alright.
Charging ahead.
So, can both of you make comprehend checks as you do so?
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
So that is, I'm going to use a bless to make that 3 successes because there's a curse.
Okay. So, I will say with 3 successes, this is what you see along the way. As you pass both the R&D and the biological sciences labs, you see magnetrine-plated vehicles of various designs. You see one room that contains 2 identical human-sized metal pods, egg-like in shape, stood next to one another, a plethora of wires stretched between them on the floor. You also see the wreckage of the biplane that crashed, along with a number of other items similar to those found on the Logan's estate, but more unfamiliar objects, flatter, slimmer, sleeker screens, and what look to be electronically powered bricks. And you can see in one room, stretched out along an autopsy table, the dinosaur that you encountered a few nights prior, as well as a number of glass cages as well. Animals inside, many of them innocuous and ones that are indigenous to the state that you live in, but you can also see a number that you do not recognize, or if you do, they come from history books. You can see scaled creatures, dinosaurs, utahraptors. You can also see what looks to be a baby saber-toothed tiger in one of these glass cages, and as you continue on, eventually you come to a large set of automatic double doors, which, as you check the map hastily scribbled by Arthur in your hands, you know to be the central lab of the loop.
This is it. Get this done.
Yeah. Is it in one specific spot, or do we need to split up?
I think it's in one spot, but
Okay.
one way to find out. Charging ahead.
Following.
Arthur looks at you two and... I'll stay out here. Guard the entrance.
I'm gonna tell you now, I will trust you. If you're lying, I will come to your future myself and punch you in your stupid face.
Understood.
Darla's gonna look at him and just like nod with Nico, like, yeah, you know, that'd be kind of funny. And then go with Nico.
Okay. Outside, Amelia, Drake. Amelia, what are you doing as you are being led towards the now slowly subsiding center of the base? You can see a number of buildings that have been dislodged from their pedestals. You can see soldiers beginning to make their way out of these buildings, along with what look to be a number of scientists and their families. And in your periphery, just off in the shadowed areas of the facility, you can make out the broken chain link fence through which you entered. You are still, however, quite roughly held by this soldier. And you have been abandoned by both Arthur and Darla.
It's an earthquake. I swear, you have to get everybody out of here much faster. And I'm gonna try to move a little bit. I'll get myself out. I promise. I'll leave straight through the door as exactly as planned. It's very dangerous. It just had the earthquake at the high school the other day. I promise it's not safe. I'll get out of here. I'm terrified. And I'll try to shake a little bit.
Can you make a move check for me? You need 2 successes to break 3. You try, and he just pulls you in, and... Look, I don't know how you got in here, but you need a word with the commander. And he just continues to push you forward. Drake, you begin to approach the entrance that was carved by Nico and your friends. You can see the gap in the chain link fence, and through this, some 30 feet away, you can see Amelia being led towards the main entrance of the facility by a soldier. What are you doing?
I'm gonna duck through as quick as possible, and then
Okay.
I don't know if you need me to check for that. Or
I am going to need you to make a sneak check for me to see if you are noticed.
okay, let's go. 3 successes and 1 curse.
Did you use your
so
curse?
2 successes.
Okay.
So 2 successes. I will say...
Or
No. So
Oh,
with
just-
2 successes, you make your way through the shadows, and you can see that the floodlights surrounding the facility, a number of them have been dislodged, creating large pockets where there is just no light across the grass. And this, sort of twinned with the quite heavy floodlights that do still surround the facility, create this impenetrable mass of darkness, which you can see that Amelia and the soldier are beginning to enter into, and you move through unseen. What are you doing?
okay, if I'm close enough, I'm going to, at the same time I body check the guard, I'm going to grab Amelia's arm and his arm and pull them apart and push
Okay.
him.
So if you can make a force check for me, please. And
Okay.
I will say 2 successes as you see out of the corner of your eye another figure jumping out of the shadows as adult Nico dives for the soldier.
Cool. I'm going to use 2 of my blesses to make it a 2 success.
Okay, so as you pull Amelia and the soldier apart, from out of nowhere, adult Nico, like a football player, just tackles the soldier to the ground, and both of them roll across the grass, and he just looks to you and, "Get out of here!"
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Let's go! And then just run back.
Okay, both of you
Raven,
make
you
move
okay?
che-
Just-
So
I'm not
both
as
of
athletic. Slow down.
both of you
I'll
make
just
move
pick you up.
checks for me, please. You
2 success.
2 successes.
So we just got a reroll in, which means the last success has to be rerolled. So you have to reroll.
Man, our chat hates us tonight.
This is fine.
Or they love us.
I
Vile.
used
Guess I'm
one-
the athletic one tonight.
my last bless to make that. Oh no,
You can't
use
on a
bless
reroll.
Damn you
Okay.
all.
So as you run ahead, Amelia, you feel Drake trip behind you, and as you turn around to reach out for him, Nico and Darla, stepping into the next room, following the yellow line along the floor into this brand new lab. You see it as not so much a lab as it is an observation chamber. To your left, there is a wall entirely made of tinted glass, into which you see built a large airlock where you see a number of hazmat suits hanging. Glass which looks down on something that seems to pulsate with dim light. It is disorienting and it is unpleasant, and for now, whatever this observation deck looks down onto is out of view. But as for the room itself, Nico, were it not for the stressful situation, this would be a dream come true. All around you see clean white workbenches covered in tools and robotic appendages that rest above the surfaces, ready to hold and manipulate whatever is placed in them. You see laminate photos placed up on light boards around the room, each of them displaying various attempted x-rays of the item that sits in the center of the room on a single pedestal. The black box.
Is it the same black
room-
box that I know?
It appears to be identical to the one you saw back in March.
Is there anything holding it in place?
Seems to just be sat there.
Right. Darla's gonna just nod her head at it and look at Nico.
And he's gonna grab it, not with the gauntlet to shock it, because he doesn't want to touch it with his plain hands.
Okay.
Go and grab it. Nothing can go wrong.
Nah.
You pick it up. Nothing happens. You hold it in your hand.
And then he's gonna put the other thing that older Nico had in the same spot.
Okay. As you do this, Can both of you make a comprehend check for me, please?
I have a few fears about everything you've said to me.
No.
I'm gonna use another bless to make it 3 successes.
You see, entering from the other side of the airlock, an individual in a hazmat suit. They appear to be climbing up a ladder in order to reach the other side of this airlock, ascending from wherever this observation deck looks down onto. And through the visor of this hazmat suit, you see the face of a Mardi Sparrow. And the doors of the airlock are beginning to open.
We have to hide right now. We have to hide right now. Actually, Darla, take this and go.
No.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I am not. We've got other already on. Wait, what did you ask us to do? Was it sneak?
I was saying we need to hide.
Yeah.
But,
I thought Ed told us to roll something. I forgot. My bad.
Just
No.
comprehend.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, you can't stay mad at me because my mom works here.
Well, I know him.
What? Why?
I'm friends with his son.
Then what are we doing?
Hiding first and see what he's doing. And then we'll go from there.
The doors to the airlock close behind Amadi Sparrow as he begins to remove the helmet of his hazmat suit. And you
Who's
can
there to hide
see
behind?
that there are a number of workbenches all around. That is it.
Okay.
Find a workbench.
Yeah, I'll find a different workbench, like on the other side. Just scurry across.
Okay. All of you, or the two of you rather, make sneak checks.
I'm a good one.
No, I'm so mad about it. Because a reroll came in. No, the audacity.
Both of you try to hide, and it is too late as the second airlock door opens, and Amadi Sparrow locks eyes with the both of you. And he simply says to you, Nico, "Yeah, I thought you'd be coming." As upstairs, Drake and Amelia, what are you doing? Drake, you are sprawled on the ground, and Amelia, you are stood above him. What are you doing?
Go! Just get out! Get out! Now! Go! Don't wait for me. Try to get up.
In her frustration, she will listen to Drake in this moment, kind of almost crying as she runs. She's a little terrified and shaken, but she will make a dash towards their hiding spot.
You can see that over by the broken chain link fence, Artie is stood there with his hand outstretched. He's going, go, come. And he just literally grabs you as you move through it. Drake, what are you doing? You can see that soldiers are now beginning to approach where you are currently splayed on the ground.
Trying to get up and running out if I can.
Okay, make a move check for me. You're going to need 2 successes.
It's not too bad. Come on, you suck.
Do you have any blesses you can use?
Nope, used them all.
I'll give you my last one.
Okay, I have 1.
I will have
success.
none left, but
I'll
will
give you 2
my
of
last-
mine.
Okay, I
Because I
have.
forgot I had blesses. I've just been so cursed. So you can have 3 success.
I have 3
As
success.
soldiers begin to descend on you, at first, you don't think you're going to make it up in time before you just feel a very strong hand grip around your forearm and pull you to the to your feet as adult Nico stands next to you and just runs with you towards the chain link fence that you have broken through. And smashing through it, you, Amelia, Artie, and adult Nico begin to make a run for it. Down in the lab below, Nico and Darla. Amadi just looks at the both of you.
Yeah, it is supernatural.
Another one.
No!
And
No!
Okay. as he moves forward towards you, a gunshot rings out. Amadi clutches his stomach and falls to the ground, bleeding out on the floor, as Arthur steps into the light. We have to go. Now. And that is where we're going to end this week's episode.
No.
Arthur! Oh my gosh. Sir!
Okay.
Thank you for donating to Wounded Warrior Project. We appreciate your donations greatly. Be kinder next week.